Hello, good evening, and welcome to our Monday, September 11th regular school board meeting for District 196. At this time, please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. After the pledge, please remain standing for a brief moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, I'd like us to share a moment of silence for Linda Deering, a secretary at District Office East, and Apple Valley High School student Nick Banyas, who passed away recently. We also want to acknowledge Patriots Day and the thousands of people who lost their lives in the attacks on the United States on September 11th, 2001. Thank you. Okay, school board. At this time, there are no additions or deletions to the agenda that was published today. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as outlined?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Bianca and a second by Art. All those in favor of approval of the agenda, please say aye.
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 Motion carries on a 6-0 vote. We have no recognition by the school board tonight, so I will turn it over to the superintendent for student and staff recognition.
Awesome, thank you. I want to start by recognizing our outstanding District 196 employees for getting us off to a great start to the 23-24 school year. Our students are excited to be back at school, building relationships with friends and teachers that provide the foundation for a successful year. We will hear details about the back to school in just a few minutes in a report from some of our cabinet directors. And congratulations to Rosemont High School senior Mia Nelson on being selected as semifinalist at the National High School Musical Theater Awards in New York City this summer. The Jimmy Awards, as they are known, are presented by the Broadway League Foundation to celebrate outstanding student achievement in theater arts. Mia was one of 96 students nationwide selected to participate in the program and one of only 20 to receive an award or scholarship. Mia was nominated for the award last spring when she and another District 196 student, senior Gabriela Acosta-Cano of Eastview High School, were selected winners of Hennepin Theater Trust Spotlight Education Awards. Congratulations to the Egan High School Concert Choir and Director James Cox on being selected to perform at the American Choral Directors Association of Minnesota Fall Conference in November. Congratulations and thank you to all District 196 employees on helping create a work environment and culture that resulted in District 196 once again being named to Forbes' list of America's Best in-State Employers. District 196 is ranked 53rd of the 60 businesses that made the list for Minnesota in 2023 and is only one of only 2 public school districts on the list. We have been on this list all 5 times since it debuted in 2019. Consistently receiving this recognition that District 196 is an employer of choice for people looking to make a difference in public education, in addition to being a district of choice for families who move here for the quality of education provided. And for the last item in my report, I would like to invite Director of Elementary Education, Jeremy Sorensen, Director of Special Education, Janet Finman, and Director of Teaching and Learning, Steve Trone, to the podium to introduce our new Deerwood Elementary School principal, our new Coordinator of Special Education, and our new Coordinator of Research, Assessment, and Analysis.
All right, good evening, Superintendent Krieger, Chair Johnson, and board members. My name is Jeremy Sorensen. I'm the Director of Elementary Education. I'm excited to have the opportunity to introduce Tira Rash as principal of Deerwood Elementary. Prior to accepting the Deerwood principal position, Tira was the assistant administrator at Highland Elementary School in Apple Valley for the last 4 years. Before joining our district, Tira worked for South Washington County Schools as an elementary special education teacher, an administrative intern, and a special education coordinator. Tira comes to us with great experiences. Please welcome Tira Rash, principal of Deerwood Elementary.
Thank you for that introduction. Good evening, Superintendent Krieger and School Board. I feel so honored and privileged to be named the next principal at Deerwood. It's been an amazing start. I've had such a warm welcome, and I'm really excited for this great school year. I truly believe that great learning happens with significant relationships, and just the work that already is being done at Deerwood with conscious discipline and the ways they make connections in school family is inspiring and encouraging, and I'm just excited to continue that forward with them. So thank you.
Good evening, Chairperson Johnson, Superintendent Krieger, and members of the board. I'm Janet Fimmon here tonight to introduce Amanda Schultz, who is new to the position of a special education coordinator. She will be supporting several elementary schools as well as other itinerant service providers and, of course, other duties as assigned in every position we have. We are thrilled to have Amanda join our leadership team. Amanda has over 25 years of experience in education. 19 of those years have been in our district. Amanda has been in a variety of roles, from a classroom teacher to most recently supporting teachers in literacy. Amanda said it best, "I am passionate about supporting students and staff to reach their greatest potential within special education. I look forward to building collaborative partnerships with staff, parents, and students to advocate for high-quality practices and inspire lifelong learners." We are lucky to have Amanda as a fierce advocate of our district community. Welcome, Amanda.
Thank you for that introduction, Janet. I just want to thank the members of the board, Superintendent Krieger and Janet Fimmon, and my colleagues who have supported me in my educational journey. I believe in this work. I'm passionate about special education, both as an educator in the district and a parent in the district, and I'm very excited to lead forward as a special education coordinator. Thank you.
Excellent.
It's great to be here this evening, introduce great people for great opportunities, positions in our district. So good evening, members of the board and Chairperson Johnson, Superintendent Krieger. I'm pleased to be here this evening to introduce Nandy Rick as the district's first coordinator of research, assessment, and analytics. We recently restructured, expanded, and renamed the former assessment office to better align with the needs of the district to use data to inform our practices and programming and to guide decision-making. This coincides with our adoption of Unified Insights, a district-wide software platform that will enable staff to access relevant data all in one place and create customized dashboards and reports. Nandy will be instrumental in providing leadership for the department, our district's use of data, and the implementation of the Unified Insights platform. Nandy began her educational career as a school psychologist and has held key leadership roles in District 196 over the past 20 years. She has served as a special education coordinator and most recently as the federal and state programs coordinator in the Teaching and Learning Department, in which she coordinated multiple federal programs, managed the district's COVID relief funds, provided leadership to the district's career development programming, and spearheaded a number of data-driven projects. Very pleased to introduce Nandy in her new role as coordinator of research, assessment, and analytics.
Thank you, Steve, and thank you, School Board and Mary Krieger, Superintendent Krieger. I am just so thankful to have given this opportunity to work in this new role. After 20 years in the district and valuing the work that I've really done and enjoyed, so thankful for the opportunity to support our special education students for years in our current tech ed programs and grant management, and now a new opportunity after 20 years in the district to have all the changes that I've been able to take advantage of and use the skills that I have. I'm excited to do that in another new venture in this district.
Excellent. Is that the end of your comments? I think so. All right, next on the agenda is our consent agenda. We have 22 items on our consent agenda tonight. They include the minutes of the August 7th, 2023 special school board meeting, the minutes of the August 7th, 2023 regular school board meeting, the minutes of August 22nd, 2023 special school board meeting, gifts, advertising revenue, schedules of investments for June 2023, schedule investments for July 2023, summary of claims for July 2023, permanent fund transfer for fiscal year 2023, personnel, stipend for coordinator of research, assessment, and analytics, Pay rates for substitute temporary and part-time employees, pay rates for substitute temporary and part-time community education employees, appointments to the Community Education Advisory Council, appointments to the Curriculum and Instruction Advisory Council, employment agreements probationary, 2023-24 Strategic Staffing Solutions Agreement, tuition agreement between Intermediate District 917 and Intermediate School District 196 for Dakota County Area Learning Schools, Policy 401 Employment, Policy 503 Student Rights and Responsibilities, and resolution relating to the counting of write-in votes. Are there any items on the consent agenda that a board member would like to remove tonight? Seeing none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Sachin, second by Bianca. All those in favor of approving the consent, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries on a 6-0 vote. Next on our agenda is reports, and I'd like to welcome our Director of Secondary Education, Michael Bolsoni, to deliver our back-to-school report.
All right, good evening, Chairperson Johnson, Superintendent Krieger, members of the board. As mentioned, I'm Michael Bolsoni, the Director of Secondary Education. It's a pleasure to be here tonight. Last month, our administration presented on our summer programs, and tonight we're here to provide an update on our recent return to school. As the third largest school district in the state of Minnesota, we welcomed approximately 29,000 students, ranging from pre-K through transition back to school. Our official enrollment numbers will be determined and shared after October 1st, but we do get a quick look just by the students who show up on that first day. Our theme for this year is Educate, Develop, Inspire, and it's based on our new mission statement, Educating, Developing, and Inspiring Students for Lifelong Success. Connected to that are our strategic roadmap that includes our vision, our core values, and strategic priorities that shape and define our work. Let's review our strategic priorities for the 23-24 school year. The well-being of our students and staff, improving student achievement and outcomes, supporting equity as a core concept, and ensuring that we have the resources to support a safe and dynamic learning environment. We absolutely love our staff, and our employees are the key to our success, and we hosted several events to welcome back different employee groups this fall. Approximately 200 new teachers attended an event hosted at Apple Valley High School that included opportunities for teachers to learn about the district and connect with each other. We've also added additional support this year for our new teachers to thrive and grow throughout the year. There's a lot of excitement around the beginning of a school year. I always felt that as a principal and as a teacher. This photo here shows the Rosemount High School senior class gathered together at sunrise for the first day of school to celebrate and kick off their last year of high school. As a district, we feel ready, we're well-staffed, and excited to get going. Again, we were recognized by Forbes as one of the best employers of the state, which is something that we're very proud of. We will hear from several directors on ways that we prepared for a successful year with our students in the areas of safety and security, equity and inclusion, special education, and elementary and secondary education tonight. So first up is safety and security.
Good evening. I'm Kaya Bruce, Director of Community Education. The safety of our students, staff, and families is of primary importance and is part of the district's strategic priorities in the resources that provide staffing, facilities, technology, and equipment needed to support a safe, sustainable, and dynamic learning environment for all students. Secure building entrances were constructed and cameras were installed as a result of the 2015 bond referendum. With voter approval of the bond referendum earlier this year, we are able to replace aging security systems and provide additional security and safety resources, such as two-way radios and outdoor cameras and lighting. We also continue to work with our local law enforcement to ensure the safety of students and staff. Tonight, I am sharing with you new procedural changes that is one component of our greater safety and security efforts being implemented this year. This summer, district and school staff implemented standard response protocol actions to ensure everyone is using the same language and responses to the different situations that may occur at schools during the school day. This standard response protocol was developed and is provided free of charge by the I Love You Guys Foundation and is used in school districts across the nation. Representatives from local police departments attended training with district staff last school year and continue to assist with the implementation of the SRP actions and language this year. The 5 SRP actions are hold, secure, lockdown, shelter, and evacuate. Hold is used when hallways need to be kept clear, possibly for a medical emergency or other situation. The announcement over the school speaker is to hold in your room or area, clear the halls. Secure is used to keep people safe inside the building from a possible threat outside. The directive is secure, get inside, lock outside doors. In both the hold and secure actions, teachers and students continue classes as usual inside the building, but are not allowed to go outside until the action is ended by an announcement from administration. Lockdown is used to secure individual rooms and keep people in place, quiet and hidden from a possible threat inside the building. The announcement states lockdown, locks, lights, out of sight. Teachers and students move out of the line of sight inside rooms and wait silently to listen for additional directions or cues on how they should respond. Evacuate is used to move occupants into a different part of the building or out of the building if there was a fire, for example. The evacuate directive may be followed by a location as part of the announcement. Shelter, last one, is used as an external hazard or threat like a tornado or flooding. The announcement is to shelter and then state the hazard using a safety strategy. Students and staff would move to a predetermined area of the building. Signs showing the 5 SRP actions are posted in schools throughout the district. Students will practice their responses to the actions by participating in drills during the school year. In years past, district schools had similar responses to situations, but the language used for the announcements was different across schools, and there were different names for lockdowns that all meant essentially the same thing in terms of the response. Implementing the standard response protocol gives us consistent, simple, and clear communication with a shared understanding in an emergency situation across the district. The safety of students and staff is our top priority every day. Another component of safety is that every member of our community feels welcome, safe, and that they belong.
My name is Virgil Jones, Director of Equity and Inclusion. As our district leaders are committed in partnership with faculty and staff to continue work connected to diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging, we believe that one focus of our work is to increase the knowledge, awareness, and skills of our employees to ensure that we are providing an environment that is welcoming and safe for all members of our community. This aligns with strategic direction priority number 3, which is focused on equity as a core competency. Our critical approach to teaching and learning that is connected to diversity, equity, and inclusion and belonging works to create authentic relationships with each other, including our families and our students. Louise Derman Sparks wrote, "Our work involves actively challenging prejudice and injustices. Educators engage in critical thinking and problem solving, supporting children in developing a fuller understanding of themselves and their place in the world." We continue to provide professional development to our staff to support them as our district grows, both culturally and linguistically. Last year, 2,000 employees across the district engaged in diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging professional development. This year, we are on pace to increase that number of staff engaged in professional development to 3,000 employees, including all of our new teachers who started in the first week that teachers were back on site. It is inspiring to see some of our former students, like a student of mine whose name is Anthony, who are giving back to our district. Anthony was one of my first students here in District 196, and currently works in our district. I'm proud to report that he's 3 courses away from completing his special education license and intends to seek a position in our district. I believe he's interested in District 196 because of the support, the sense of belonging that he and others have felt in our district. The photos that you see before you include and capture not only the recruitment and retention efforts in our district, but it also highlights the awareness that is happening to ensure a culture of belonging across our district.
I am Janet Fimman, Director of Special Education, with a few updates. As you've heard, there has been contagious energy. Slides are distracting me. Energy over the first few weeks as we welcome both students and staff back to the 23-24 school year. Starting off this school year, special education serves roughly 20% of our student population in the district. Special education services are defined as specifically designed instruction at no cost to the parent, designed to meet the unique needs of a child who has met eligibility for special education services. These services range from students who need minimal support in the general education classroom to those who need a more specialized environment. The Special Education Department welcomed back roughly 550 licensed staff at our second annual Welcome Back event. I wanted to bottle up the energy and enthusiasm from this event to use later in the year over those long, dark winter months. Staff were able to connect with one another while exploring resources that will provide staff the tools so they are best equipped to meet the complex needs of our students. We also had the opportunity to hear from an inspirational speaker who continued to build on the energy and reinforce the importance of connection with each other and, most importantly, with our students. Our goal always is to provide opportunities for students to experience a sense of belonging. You will see examples of this pictured. Notably, we have Ada and Anthony pictured on the right, who, because they had support of educators, paraprofessionals, and families, were able to experience this sense of belonging over the summer. Ada traveled to Japan this summer with the Eastview High School Japanese Club with her peers and had a wonderful experience. Anthony traveled to Indiana to participate in a Best Buddies conference. Both Ada and Anthony volunteered at our Welcome Back event and joined the speaker on stage for a small portion of the presentation. The best tool to motivate staff is hearing directly from our why, our students. Now I'll hand it over to elementary.
Thank you. Good evening again. My name is Jeremy Sorensen. I am the Director of Elementary Education. In elementary, we are aligning our actions with our district strategic priorities and specifically to the idea of continuous improvement. The main areas of focus involve increasing capacities and experiences in social emotional well-being and strengthening and aligning curriculum and instructional practices to improve student outcomes. To highlight our focus on social emotional well-being, we are using Second Step as a social emotional skills learning curriculum in every elementary classroom across the district. It'll be a common experience for every elementary student in our district to receive instruction directly related to building social emotional skills and supporting student well-being. There will also be a significant focus on literacy this year, partly because of new legislation called the READ Act, and I'd like to spend more time discussing that. Reading to Ensure Academic Development, or the READ Act, is new legislation impacting districts across the state this year. Some of the main components of the READ Act includes implementing state-approved professional development for all literacy teachers and implementing state-approved literacy curriculum and supports. We will be engaging with and learning more about this legislation throughout the year and plan to have an ambitious approach to following their professional development guidelines and curriculum recommendations, not just because of the legislation, but also because our student data is telling us we need to make a shift in how we teach literacy. Benchmark Phonics and Word Study is a curriculum we currently have. It is a literacy curriculum focusing on teaching phonics, decoding, and building fluency. Much like Second Step that we talked about earlier, we are focusing on prioritizing and implementing this curriculum across our elementary schools. Every elementary student will receive Benchmark Phonics Word Study as part of their daily core instruction. Lastly, Highlighted in the fall 2023 spotlight, there's an article calling this year a year of transition for literacy in our district. We are transitioning from a balanced literacy approach to a structured literacy approach in the way that we provide literacy instruction. This transition is a combination of a need to improve our student outcomes and state legislation, the READ Act. The first step of this transition has already been put in place. This fall, we are implementing a new state-approved screener called FastBridge for the first time. The screener will give us good information about both how our students are performing and how our instruction is impacting outcomes related to literacy. In order to make this happen, over 1,100 teachers participated in professional learning this summer. It's important to point out that FastBridge facilitates professional development across the country, and they made it a priority to express to us how engaged and positive our teachers were during these learning experiences, providing a great example of how amazing our teaching staff in ISD 196 is. I'm going to hand it over to secondary.
Thank you, Jeremy. Our secondary schools are off to a strong start. After a week of professional learning and preparation for staff, we welcomed over 15,000 secondary students back to school with the goal of providing a safe, welcoming, and student-centered environment for all. At the middle level, we are implementing Second Step into our advisory programs to provide emotional and social learning opportunities for each student. We also have implemented an off and away cell phone policy at all 6 of our middle schools to support relationship building and to minimize distractions. Our high schools had strong attendance at their back-to-school events and are already hosting many different athletic competitions, including football games, drawing thousands of spectators. Our schools continue to be focused on providing a variety of opportunities in academics, arts, and athletics. We've highlighted a few things tonight that we have in place for a great year, and we're excited to celebrate the start of another school year of educating, developing, and inspiring our students for lifelong success. At this time, we can take any questions you might have.
Thank you so much. At this time, are there any questions or comments from the audience for any of our presenters? Seeing none, questions or comments from board members?
I just have a quick comment. Well, thank you again for sharing. It's really incredible to see things are back in full swing, and so is the rest of the staff and everybody else. So it's great to see things going in sync, but I think what stands out to me always in this is just the individual passion that each one of you brings to your work, and I think that's what makes the difference. It's not just a job, it is purpose, and that's clear, and I'm just so grateful to have each of you in your role, and just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for the work you do.
Thank you.
Jackie?
Nicely said, Sachin. They do bring nice passion, and it gets us all excited. There has been, Janet said she wanted to take all that energy and bottle it up, and it has just been amazing to go to the new teachers coming into our district and learning, and I was amazed on how many of our new teachers were students here in 196, or are teachers that are coming here from someplace else because they want to be here. So that was amazing. The football games, if you haven't gone to Friday Night Lights somewhere, go, because the football games have been amazing. Kids are all excited. Yes, Friday night it was neon out. Yes. And they were all dressed in neon colors, and both at Apple Valley and Rosemont, and it was really fun. At first I thought, why are these middle school kids wearing safety vests? Well, it was a good neon color, but how fun. Congratulations to everybody. What a great start.
Thanks. And this Friday night, we're hosting games at both Egan and Eastview, both home games on Friday night. Yeah.
I think when I went, it was Hawaiian night. And I was wondering, why is everyone wearing Hawaiian shirts?
Yeah.
Did I miss
Well, because it's
the memo?
Rosemont and it was warm.
Any other questions or comments from board members? Thank you so much. It was an amazing back-to-school report. I know I've got 2 kids who are very happy to be in classes right now. I mean, not really, but their parents are, and they're up to a wonderful start. So thank you so much for being here. Great job.
Thank you.
All right. Now we are moving on to old business on our agenda. I'd like to welcome our General Counsel, Jill Coyle, for the second reading of Administrative Regulation 507.2 AR, Student Fees and Fines.
Good evening, Chairperson Johnson, members of the board, and Superintendent Krieger. So Regulation 507.2 AR describes the school district's student fees and fines. It's one of the few regulations that require school board approval. Tonight, the regulation is before you as old business. In August, I was before you describing 3 specific changes to the regulation. As a reminder, those 3 specific changes include, number 1, increasing the driver's education behind the wheel fee from $302 to $325. 2, increasing the graduation fee from $40 to $50, and 3, eliminating the fee for the electronic device protection plan for students who qualify for educational benefits, and also changing the fee assessed for repeated incidents of damage to the device. Because this is old business tonight, I ask for your approval.
Thank you. This is an action item tonight, so before we move into discussion, is there a motion?
Second.
Motion to approve by Jackie and seconded by Sachin. Are there any questions or comments from the audience? Seeing none, questions or comments from board members?
I do.
Bianca?
I don't expect an answer tonight. If you can get it to me later. And I just thought of it here, or I would have sent it sooner. But the electronic device protection plan, how often do you have any data on, is that more impactful in the K-3, multiple, because it says for multiple incidents, right, or repeat, I think you mentioned. Where do those happen most? And I don't know if you track that or not, but if you could get back to me.
That's such an interesting question. I don't know the answer, but I suspect our technology department might. So
Yeah.
I'll research that and get back to you with
I can
with an
just
answer.
say, as a parent with 2 middle schoolers in an elementary, my youngest is the one that has a tendency to have that happen to more frequently, and I'm curious, is it, are we adding an undue burden on those early learning years because kids are taking them home at a younger age? That's why. So.
Yeah, I appreciate the question, and certainly we'll get back to you with some information if we've tracked it in that way.
Great, thanks.
Interesting. Any other questions or comments from board members? Sachin?
Quick comment.
Yeah.
With an N of 1 and a parent who did not opt in, we have learned the expensive lesson to opt in here as well. So in my family, it has happened at the elementary level. So for what it's worth, there's one data point right here. Expensive one nonetheless.
Good feedback.
Don't miss the opt-in.
We have opted in now.
Excellent. Other questions or comments from board members? Seeing none, we have a motion to approve from Jackie, seconded by Sachin. All those in favor of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries on a 6-0 vote. Thank you, Jill.
Thank you.
Yep. We have no new business or other action items tonight, which brings us to our school board member updates. Are there any school board members with items they'd like to share? Seeing none, I'll turn it over to Superintendent Krieger.
Okay, I just have a couple. I would like to encourage all parents and guardians to update their family information on record with the district by completing the online review through their Infinite Campus Parent Portal account. Say that quickly. This is the one time each year we ask parents to complete the review. It is important for schools to have current information in order to notify parents and guardians in case of emergency, changes in the school schedule, and other important information. All parents and guardians are encouraged to have their own Parent Portal account. To start an account, parents should contact their child's school to request an activation key. And lastly, I want to encourage all voters in District 196 to participate in the upcoming school board election. Information about the candidates was published in Sun This Week newspapers, and the League of Women Voters of Dakota County is hosting candidate forums this week that will be available to watch on District 196 YouTube channel by the end of the week. Absentee voting for the November 7th school board election will begin September 22nd. Absentee ballots can be completed by mail or in person at the Dakota County Government Centers in Apple Valley, Hastings, and West St. Paul. District 196 residents who do not live in Apple Valley or Rosemont may also vote absentee in person at the district office. Because Apple Valley and Rosemont have questions on the ballot, voters in those cities must absentee vote at their city hall or one of the county government centers. For voting information, go to mnvotes.org. Thank you.
Excellent. That brings us to the end of our meeting tonight. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Bianca and a second by Sakowden. All those in favor of adjournment, please say aye. Aye. Motion carries on a 6-0 vote. We are adjourned.